Did you know that the average American spends over $18,000 a year on non-essential purchases? That's more than most people spend on their rent or mortgage. Yet, many of us believe that living frugally means cutting out fun or living on a strict budget. But what if we told you that frugality isn't about being stingy, it's about being smart with your money? Imagine freeing up thousands of dollars, not by sacrificing your happiness, but by making simple, intentional choices. In this guide, we'll explore how you can save more without feeling deprived. You'll discover how to embrace slow living, eat like a king on a peasant's budget, and even travel the world without spending a fortune. Ready to change your perspective and start living better for less? Let's dive into how frugality can actually help you live a fuller, richer life. Chapter 1. The Secret Wealth of Slow Living. Why less really is more. Frugality isn't just about reducing your spending, it's about slowing down. When we rush through life, we often overspend just to keep up. In fact, a study from the University of California found that people who take time to reflect on their purchases are 30% less likely to make impulsive buys. Slowing down can help you see the value in what you already have. Focus on what truly matters, like meaningful relationships or personal growth, and you'll find that less stuff leads to more happiness. The less you own, the more you are free, says minimalist expert Joshua Becker. By embracing slow living, you'll not only save money but also reclaim time for things that bring you joy. Chapter 2. The Art of Mindful Spending. Creating a budget that's not a prison. A budget doesn't have to feel restrictive, it can be liberating. Mindful spending means knowing exactly where your money goes and being intentional about every purchase. According to a study by the National Endowment for Financial Education, people who track their spending are 60% more likely to meet their financial goals. Start by categorizing your expenses and identifying areas where you can cut back without feeling deprived. For example, by switching from dining out to cooking at home, the average person could save $1,500 a year. A budget isn't about limiting fun, it's about prioritizing your needs over your wants. Once you see how much you can save, you'll start feeling empowered, not restricted. Chapter 3. Thrift Store Treasure Hunts. How to score big for small prices. When people think of thrift stores, they often picture old, worn-out items. But that couldn't be further from the truth. A recent survey by ThredUp found that 70% of millennials are shopping secondhand for environmental and financial reasons. The reality is, thrift stores are full of hidden gems. Whether it's designer clothes, vintage furniture, or high-quality cookware, you can find items that are often better made and more unique than their brand-new counterparts. Knowing what to look for is key. Look for items with solid construction, and always inspect for any damage or wear. If you're unsure, a quick Google search can help you determine whether an item is worth its price. Not only will you save money, but you'll also reduce waste and contribute to a more sustainable economy. If you like these tips, don't forget to subscribe for more frugal living advice and hacks. Chapter 4. Eating like a king, on a peasant's budget. Eating frugally doesn't mean settling for bland meals. In fact, you can create gourmet dishes without spending a lot of money. A study by the Food Research and Action Center found that eating at home can save you up to 60% compared to dining out. Start by meal planning and prepping in advance. Buying in bulk, particularly staples like rice, beans, and pasta, can significantly lower your grocery bill. Don't be afraid to experiment with affordable ingredients like lentils, eggs, or seasonal vegetables. Also, consider shopping at local farmers markets, where you might find fresh produce at a fraction of the cost of a supermarket. And if you're really feeling adventurous, learn to preserve food by canning or freezing. With the right mindset, eating like royalty on a budget is totally possible. Chapter 5. Frugal Hobbies. Transforming free time into free savings. Frugality doesn't mean you have to give up having fun. In fact, some of the best hobbies are completely free or extremely affordable. Hiking, reading, writing, and crafting are all great ways to spend your time without spending money. According to a report from the Bureau of Economic Analysis, Americans spend an average of $3,000 annually on entertainment. But you can easily cut that down by embracing hobbies that don't come with a hefty price tag. For instance, learning to knit or crochet can cost as little as $20 for supplies, but the satisfaction of creating your own clothing is priceless. If you're into photography, you don't need an expensive camera to get started. Smartphones can take amazing pictures. By swapping pricey pastimes for creative hobbies, you'll find more joy in life while saving big. Want more ways to save and enjoy life? Subscribe now for weekly tips on living frugally and stress-free. Chapter 6. The Frugal Traveler's Secret. Exploring the world without the price tag. Think frugal living means no vacations? Think again. You can travel the world without breaking the bank, thanks to a few smart strategies. Start by using travel deal websites like Skyscanner or Google Flights to track prices and score cheap flights. Flying during off-peak seasons can also save you up to 50% on airfare. When it comes to accommodations, try using Airbnb or Couchsurfing for budget-friendly options. Staying with locals not only saves you money but also gives you a more authentic experience. And if you're open to adventure, consider camping or road tripping to explore new places. Traveling frugally doesn't mean skimping on experiences, it means getting creative and making the most of every opportunity. If you're ready to live smarter and save more, subscribe now and join the frugal living community. Wrapping it up, frugality isn't about being stingy, it's about making smart, intentional choices that free you from financial stress. By slowing down, budgeting mindfully, shopping secondhand, eating well on a budget, embracing frugal hobbies, and traveling wisely, you can live a rich, fulfilling life without overspending. Remember, frugality is a mindset, not a lifestyle of deprivation. The more intentional you are with your choices, the more freedom you'll gain. Start small, stay consistent, and watch your savings grow.